One of the biggest opportunities to grow your influence on social media right now is posting short form vertical videos, whether that's Instagram Reels, TikToks, or even YouTube Shorts. But what if you could turn your regular videos like this into vertical videos? In this video, I'll show you how you can do that so that you could start posting vertical videos, and be sure to stick around to the end of the video because I'll show you how to auto caption it so you don't have to caption the videos all by yourself, and you can have captions on your video just like you see on this one. Let's go.
You gotta just press record.
Hey, what's up? It's almost Corey with Think Media, and I'll be using Premiere Pro to demonstrate this, but I'll be teaching it principle based. So no matter what software you're using, you could implement these strategies. But let's just jump into the software itself. So here I am in Premiere Pro, and I've got our video podcast in my timeline. This is the Think Media podcast, which if you are not subscribed to it, wherever you watch or listen to podcasts, you need to be if you're trying to grow your YouTube channel. But I've picked out a point in the podcast that I'd like to turn into a vertical video. So that's this point right here. Most editing softwares, you can splice or cut your video. And so I would ask you to just do that where you want to start your vertical video. So I'm going to do that right here and hit the cut key that I have designed and just make a splice. And I did pre-mark these just to save time in the video. This would be the end of that vertical video clip. So I'm just going to splice at the end of it. And so essentially I want to turn this portion into a vertical video. The next thing I'm gonna do is create a new sequence. This sequence is 1920 by 1080. I wanna flip that around. And so I'm gonna go right into File and create a new sequence. Depending on whatever software you're using, just create a new timeline or sequence. And in this case, I'm going to select 1080-24, but go into settings. If you're shooting a 30 frames per second video that you're re-editing, then you wanna make sure you select that. But I'm gonna select 24, go into settings, and I'm actually gonna flip these two numbers around. So I'm gonna put 1080 over here, and then I'm gonna put 1920 over here. Now I'm gonna hit, and I can, we can call it something, we can call it vertical. And if you wanna save time in your future, just create a preset and call it vertical preset. And then it'll create a preset so that you can always select it in the future and never have to make it again. You're welcome. I'm here to save time, guys. But I'm just gonna hop over here, and then I'm gonna select this clip. You can copy or you can cut it. I'll just cut it for sort of visual. And then I'm gonna paste this in here. So here we have the video in vertical form. Now, what's cool about Premiere particularly is I can right click this, select Scene Edit Detection, and then add a cut at each detected point. So if you have a video that's already rendered out and you just wanna, cut those clips in individual pieces, this is a very smart thing to do because I need to resize this clip to fit the frame. So we have two angles here, as you can see, but it made a cut where I needed it to make it. So I'm gonna just click on this and then head over to controls, and depending on whatever software you're using, I wanna frame this out so it fills the frame. And so that looks a lot better. And then I'm gonna do the same thing to this clip. And essentially, now we have the clip that is now formatted to YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, or even TikToks. But let's say you don't want to show so much of somebody's face because the shot's very tight. Let's just say like this. You can actually zoom it out a little bit, create some space. You do want to fill the frame as much as you can. But one cool trick that I like to do is to actually duplicate this file and put one on top of it. And then the one underneath, I actually like to scale it up. Put kind of like the graphic in the back, and go to effects and just add like a blurriness to that video clip. So I'm just gonna grab this blurry effect, drag it on the clip, and increase that blurry effect. So now it's a little bit more, clean as far as how it fills the frame. But that's it. You can do that if you want. You can also make this, put a white box behind the person or a black box. I just found that it's best if you can fill the frame as much as possible. But for the simplicity of this tutorial, I'm just gonna fill the frame with Sean and essentially call it good. And so now you just wanna make sure you render out the clip properly, which I wanna show you how to do that, but I wanna add captions. But if you're already getting value, let me know by hitting that like button. And again, please subscribe to the Think Media podcast if you wanna learn how to grow your YouTube channel or build a business around it. But let's add captions to this clip. First, I'm gonna add an in and out point to this clip. I'm gonna hit I at the beginning and O at the end, and just add that in and out point. I'm then gonna pull up my text toolbox. So I'm gonna hit window, and then the drop down is gonna open, and I'm gonna hit text. And then here we have this captions dialog, which I can just hit transcribe sequence and then just make sure it does it from the in and out point only. I'm gonna hit transcribe, and then Adobe's gonna do its thing. Now I know I said it, you can do this with any software, but Adobe is kind of just dope for doing this at least. And then once it generates kind of the text, I'm just gonna hit create captions. You can overview it or you can edit it later, but for speed, I'm just gonna create captions. Make sure all this is as good to go. Maybe I'll just make the text 40. Lines is double is okay. And I'm just gonna hit create, and Adobe's gonna create captions using their AI or artificial intelligence. And most platforms like TikTok and Instagram anyway, you can hit captions as a feature when you swipe up and add captions to it automatically. But this is just a cool way to add your own branding. So you can see the captions at the bottom, but what's so cool is I can edit this caption, make it look a certain way. So I'm just gonna do a font that we like to use, Helvetica. I'm going to click and expand it a little bit wider because I want it to go on 2 lines, not 3 lines. Then I'm just gonna add a background to it, just like a nice little background. So I'm gonna click on background, crank up that opacity, change the color to black so it's legible, and even maybe make it a little bit bigger so you can see it. And then let's put this, I'm gonna put in the middle of the screen and drag it down just a little bit so it's legible, maybe like 3/4 of the screen. And if you like how this looks, literally all you have to do is hit create style, call it think or whatever you want to call it, and now it just affected all of them and they're all consistent. And I would just encourage you to make sure you watch it over, and you can make any changes to any text by just like literally double clicking and changing the text as needed. But it's literally going to the voice of Sean, which is awesome. So that's kind of how you do that. But now if we're ready to export this thing, just want to make sure we export it with the right settings. And we're going to hit export on the top of the screen. One way to really maximize the quality of it is, number one, you can hit high quality 1080. But if I do that, it might render out the widescreen version. So at least if you're in Premiere, you just want to make sure you're matching the source. So now it's going to render just a vertical video. And if you ever want to just like increase the crispiness of your video render, you just want to increase your bit rate, which I find 20 to 40 is great. If you really, if you really cared, 40 is a safe bet. But 20 looks good as well. Specifically, if you're also shooting 4K content and then rendering out a vertical video that's 1080, then it's going to look really good. And so once you have that dialed, then make sure you want to save it in a perfect place and save it with the right name. And you can type it YouTube full time. And then I just hit export. It's going to go into the desktop. And then once it's exported, I can just airdrop it to my phone. If you have a Windows or an Android, I'm so sorry, just kidding. You can just upload it to Dropbox or a Google Drive, download it, and then upload it to whatever platform you'd like to. But that's how you turn a horizontal or regular video into a vertical video. And if you haven't already, hit that like button. Let me know that you got value by doing so. And if you want to check out another tutorial from us here at Think Media, just click or tap the screen. If you want to tap into our Think Media podcast, you can click or tap the screen as well. Can't wait to see you in a future video. Peace.